Well, I have spent the last week in Doha, in Qatar, one of the most beautiful, clean, and hospitable cities in the entire world. And when I said I was in one of the most beautiful, clean, and hospitable cities in the world, you knew I hadn't spent the past week in Washington, D.C. Now, I was about as far away from D.C. as I could get, but I couldn't escape the really amazing week that happened in what I call Disney World East, Washington, a place of utter fantasy where grown-ups pay big money to act like children, except that they pay with your money. You know, Hollywood is beside themselves because of the prospects of Oprah Winfrey running for president after she made a little speech at the liberal love-in called the Golden Globes. That's where people in the la-la land of Southern California wear $50,000 dresses made of just enough material for a bathing suit, and then they nosh on caviar, champagne, and steak tartare while congratulating themselves for being so very much in touch with and in tune with the working class. You know, it makes sense for Oprah to be the new stick horse for the left because, I mean, we know how much they believe in billionaires with no political experience who run for office, whose primary qualification is being a reality TV star. They believe that's a great background to run for commander-in-chief, and that's why they regularly showed their love and respect for Donald Trump during the 2016 campaign. Back in our nation's capital, really crazy and unbalanced, unhinged, and emotionally fragile famous people took to TV to question whether President Trump was crazy, unbalanced, and unhinged. They even paraded dime store doctors on morning talk shows like MSNBC's Morning Joke and CNN's No Day, and in secret congressional sessions where really deep-thinking and rational members of Congress, like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi, made medical pronouncements of the president. Hey, they're about as qualified to diagnose a crazy person as Harvey Weinstein is to preach a sermon on proper behavior toward women. But in a striking turn, the president invited the press to hang around for a historic bipartisan meeting of key House and Senate members to negotiate immigration reform. The president's command of the issue, the room, and the discussion had even CNN anchors and Democrats in Congress declaring how effective Trump was in making progress with a very sticky issue. This on the heels of a book released by a guy who, I don't know if you thought about it, but he looks like Dr. Evil with glasses, whose admitted process is making stuff up and not actually interviewing the people that he quoted. But despite a complete lack of veracity on the facts, the media oohed and awed over his manufactured mishmash as to how the president couldn't put a full sentence together. That is until he gave a stemwinder speech extemporaneously to the Farm Bureau and then held the impromptu clinic on how to negotiate with Congress to move legislation. By then, it was President Trump who looked brilliant and the unlicensed and unqualified media medical mob who looked like the ones who needed padded cells and heavy doses of antidepressants. Now, maybe Oprah will run, and her campaign slogan will be, "A new Buick for every voter." But until then, we have to listen to Democrats pretend that they want to have immigration reform. That is, as long as they get everything they want to give amnesty and voting rights to illegals, and the Republicans get nothing they want, like a secure border. Now, the Dems are promising, give us everything we want now, and we'll give you something later. It's like Wimpy in the old Popeye cartoon saying, "I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today." So I left the country for a few days when record cold temps were being recorded, and I got back to find out that while I'm gone, Oprah's running for president, President Trump looks like a genius, and even CNN praised him for his executive skills. Folks, it wasn't just cold on the East Coast or here in Nashville. This week, hell froze over.